Alrighty, daily trading recap here for Thursday, the 9th of June, 2022. To Christ be the glory. Dollar volume quick first before anything else. NASDAQ $205 billion volume. NYSE $286 billion volume on the day. OTC markets $1.8 billion volume traded on the day. Hard red day on SPY overall. 2.38% we're showing in the red here in the day total. I related to, obviously, these past, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, whatever amount of days here that we had was just this consolidation after this little bounce. Of course, we're in more of a bear market, harder pullback since that all-time high test again back at the start of the year. But I figured this day in the morning, especially, we can just kind of see that it was still in this kind of consolidation mode. And then sure enough, in the fading of the afternoon and into the close, obviously the trend day started to showcase itself and saying, okay, this is the direction we're going. This is the direction we're picking, not only for today, but for this little range that it's been in this past, count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, call it 8 trading days there, after that harder bounce that happened on a few Fridays ago here on this day. So that obviously kind of ruined not necessarily ruined, but distracted or distressed the 3:45 to 4 p.m. close strategy there. Obviously, the downside profit target worked on that automated future strategy play for that one, but the upside one, of course, had to take the collapse of closing on the low of the day overall, and especially in that 15-minute strategy itself. So seeing a little bit bigger loss on that size for that one today, but the strategy is still looking profitable for what the data and the backtesting currently says on it for. Of course, again, that previous data does not indicate future performance. I screw that saying up all the time, but it's just we're reading the story. We're expecting or trying to predict and create ideal plot lines of what we think should happen based on the circumstances and based on what has happened previously. There's always going to be curveballs, and the market is always irrational at best. So always adjusting to that. Nothing is ever 100%, but that is trading entirely. 9:30 to 9:45 strategy working out well to both the upside and smaller downside profit targets strategy for the morning there. I did have a little finish up on Jan today with my little paper position and was very tempted to take an actual long position here. Lucked out huge with news gals coming into today on the super low floater. I did establish a position. We talked about that in yesterday's daily trading recap for establishing that long position after I reversed myself. I reversed my position from a short position. A little bias there that was caught in a little bit of FOMO. But coming into today with this former runner, we can obviously, just looking at the metrics of a hard in now's time frame, man, hard $5, obvious $5. There we go. Obvious $5 key psychological resistance blockage there that got hit today, got hit this 7th here, got hit the 31st of May, got hit the 28th of March there, looks like. So obviously some amount of line of demarcation there at that point for showing that price does not want to go above that, but that will be seen if price starts to reclaim closer to that ever again, or if anything starts to come along those lines with that one. But just keeping that in their memory bank, it'll be easy to see. Everybody and their grandma will see that line, though, for just how that is played out on the dailies and on the intradailies here for those charts. But back to today's trading of news cows coming into today with the pump. Produces nice little price action there. This is another reminder to me, too, kind of in instances specifically to this, more so, well, specifically to this, but of course in other circumstances where, hey, these trades kind of do work out, but it's just so early in pre-market that it's just way before that I'm even up on my West Coast time here, or it's just, even if it's the light kind of sketchy volume or price running of it, to have limit orders in pre-market with a just kind of crazier profit target idea of me saying, okay, yeah, if this thing goes to, from me sitting in my position from last night, from before the close, even to say, okay, if for whatever, some crazy reason, I would definitely be taking half off if price reached 4.7 or just pulling a number out of the hat. And that's kind of what I did with this final exit there, but that'll get into later. But protecting myself in situations like this, if this thing had not come above VWAP at all during market hours whatsoever, if it just kind of died off the rest of the day and the only opportunity for real price to be selling into from a long position was this pre-market action that I was not a part of, to be having limit orders in just in case of that one. Not so much downside stopping orders. I think there's way too much play for that one, but of taking profit, I think there is some good. That's a good practice to have going forward in the future. And if just for some random fluke, if that gets hit in just the sketchiness and weirdness that is pre-market trading early in the wee hours of the morning. To be getting filled there is certainly not a bad thing for at least like half, at least maybe a quarter. Just pick your poison on that one, but at least having something in there to capture some of the potential spiky movements like that. Very long-winded explanation of that one, but going into the actual exits for my paper trading, of course, in TradingView, it has to be during market hours. I can't do anything pre-market. Like I mentioned, I would have liked to be doing some pre-market, at least selling into some of this one, having some limit orders in there, but just kind of working with what we got. Hey, let's take it for what it's worth here in market hours for the position size that we do have on it. Immediately sold a little bit right out of the open for how much we were already up from my current position. Sold like half of that right in that first minute candle there, regardless of what it was going to do. I said, okay, let's lock in some safe profits here. Let's not try to play with fire. Hey, sure enough, we get a reclaim to VWAP. We get a spike a little above there. Let's sell some more into that one. And then as we get into this kind of top here, big volume candle exhaustion, start to pull back to VWAP, I'm saying, I do think this thing could have a little bit more room. I want to leave a lottery position on. I want to lock in profits now for just how great of a trade it is, for just how we lucked out for this news catalyst, for the price action movement that is currently favoring us in the moment. Let's lock in decent profits, pay ourselves along the way. But I do want to absolutely leave shares on. As we got to here, though, I'm imagining it in real terms of real dollars. I would have been comfortable with 50 share position remaining, around a $200, $250 position size to leave on as a lottery. I use the term lottery, not like I'm just kind of, YOLOing it. Not like I'm just YOLOing it, just, it's free cash, just let it go, do whatever it wants to do, and setting up some crazy stop below it. But I'm just saying, yeah, that's kind of the size I would have been comfortable with for the size that I did take initially with the position. So cut myself back again here to 50 shares remaining as a pullback. Held this, what I considered kind of to be this still low. If this thing was touching below 420 and starting to break these key levels here, I definitely was going to start thinking of making my way towards the exits with that little lottery position. But even at that, I could still see this thing having some amount of life into it if it started to dip like obsessively hard for more manipulation to come in, for more opportunities to get it higher price action later in the day. Regardless, it does find a little bit of a bottom, pushes to a new high of day, 15 minutes later after that. And then sure enough, holds again a little higher low, a little double bottom if you want to call it, reclaims to VWAP, produces some more choppiness, a little bit of a lower high, but still reclaiming to VWAP, puts in a kind of triple bottom with these wicky red candles here. And in this 10-12 candle, I even wrote in my journal of like, gosh, I'm just watching this thing going, this thing is going to go up here. Just kind of seeing the bid wall stack up a little bit, just nice little footholds being put consistently in 460, okay, now 462, 465 is holding decently well, and just like little by little starting to hold the line there and continue to push higher. Like, gosh, it was tempting for me not to take an actual position here at this point, but still keeping it in the mindset of, hey, this is still the same trade that I started last night or started yesterday. Let's still play it as is for the position that is, and not try to fool around with my actual cash account now. Just because for how long I've been from trading equities, for how long that has been, and just to say, hey, this is my thesis here. Let's just keep going on that one. Let's focus here, right now on this trade. Sure enough, it does start to go, and this final exit here on those 50 shares, randomly and arbitrarily, I picked 494. I wanted to be before that $5 key psychological level mark, still thinking that there was going to be some upside above that, maybe not like a long duration of time above that $5 level mark, but at least something for some escalation through that mark for how much it was a key indicator and key resistance level. Man, I thought for the volume that it was producing, it was going to definitely have some more room above that. But exiting myself before that, I knew that would have got me my profits before that breakout, and then having to fool around with that craziness of timing the breakout or putting in a limit order, getting a market order, and then of course getting filled as breakout maybe fails, and then it starts to pull off harder. So many different variables that way, but kind of lucked out with where it topped on that candle. Very quick little flick to that $5 level mark in terms of price action. Not like it stayed there long or tried to test that in any regard. Pulled back a little bit and then just sold off hard as all the longs looking for that push above that $5 mark got eaten alive, thrown back under VWAP there, and just sank the rest of the day. Closing, looking at 3.6 here, even closing lower than where it was consolidating, holding lows on that trading day yesterday. So arrows for entries and exits looking good. I like them. Of course, lucking out with a news catalyst doesn't hurt whatsoever. So I like that first little step back into this trading of equities, even if it is paper. Just good refresher, good involvement, once again, of the time and sales level 2. Most importantly, I think, in just forcing my attention back on that and using that as one of the most important gauges for the trade, the breadth of the trade itself, for the vitality of what could potentially happen for this, and not just kind of cutting it short or just thinking that I'm playing a chart trade. So many different variables that to be able to hold accountable to position sizing and actual positions themselves and just the trading entirely. But good little learning lesson again on that one, regardless of the P&L wise. I know even if I was taking real cash trade on this, it would not have been with big size. So no way, shape, or form was it about the P&L or miss P&L. I'm not feeling any FOMO about it whatsoever. I just feel grateful for that opportunity to have been a part of it. And that's going to be the lucky part sometimes, of lucking into a news catalyst and sometimes lucking out with an offering, an unexpected offering, just a kind of sketchy slip through the cracks, dilution, shares outstanding, slapping it in the face. It's just, that is trading, right? But making our own luck is what I'm here for, of just producing, getting more screen time in, more time just in general, so it appears to be lucky at times versus, hey, kind of making your own luck at times of what is actually there and what is actually luck, what is your hard work and what is just showing up consistently every single day. So that is really all I had, just keeping it same old for tomorrow, going with we'll see how this smaller profit target, the upside on the session-wide ES strategy works out. It's not looking too great as of right now, so it could be a harder unrealized P&L testing day. Definitely going to still keep playing the 930 to 945 and 345 to close automated strategies there, just for that volatility, especially on Fridays, as Fridays are the most volatile volume miss closings of the day, closing of the week, as everybody's just kind of establishing their positions and getting out before the weekend. I think we got CPI numbers coming out tomorrow as well, too, so that'll be interesting to see. I will be away from the screen for a longer time tomorrow with my real stupid put-on pants job tomorrow to replenish that account size for that futures trading, but we will certainly be in deep reflection after that for following the day's actions tomorrow. But that is all I had. I sincerely thank you guys for watching, and we will catch you guys on the next one.